It's our pleasure to welcome into our studio to offer his Subway Fresh take on possibly being the first pick in the draft and a whole lot more. You know him from the University of Kentucky, the terrific young center, Nerlens Noel. And right off the bat, I think there has to be a typo in the bio. It says here you were born in 1994. Now, there's no way in the world anyone was actually born in 19. You still require a babysitter when you leave the house. 1994.
Yeah, I'm April's baby, born 1994.
Like 1994.
Sydney, my daughter, is born in 1994. She's a freshman swimmer at Notre Dame. And you're about to be the #1 pick in the draft.
So, you know, it's funny. I remember when we had during the presidential election, we had both candidates on back in 2008. We asked John McCain who his favorite athlete was growing up, and it was Ted Williams. And then we asked Barack Obama, then Senator Obama, who was his favorite athlete growing up, and he said Dr. J,
right,
which I thought showed a remarkable, it was actually one place that we had sort of an interesting little political moment. Showed, who are your favorite players? They got to still be playing now. Your favorite players from when you were growing up.
Yeah, I definitely looked up to Kevin Garnett growing up. I mean, just with the passionate and intensity he always played with and just love for the game, I really looked up to him growing up.
Just amazing.
Well, they're in Boston. So you're a kid from Boston, from the Boston area, so you root for all the Boston teams and the Celtics. Have you met Kevin Garnett?
Yeah, I met him one time.
And what sense did you get? Because obviously you're a similar size to him. You don't have necessarily a particularly similar game, right? I mean, you're a little more, he's a guy who's going to go outside and shoot threes, especially younger in his career and all that kind of thing. What do you see in similarities between yourself and KG?
Just definitely playing with the same intensity and passion for the game. I'm just being able to play so hard and be a leader on the court and just embrace your teammates and just really step up in clutch times.
So while injuries are part of sports, we all know that. If you play long enough, you're going to get hurt. But you get an ACL, you get a major injury. So take us back to when that happened and just your immediate thoughts when you knew something bad was done to your knee.
It happened right when one of their players intercepted the ball, and I wanted to give my team the best chance of getting back in the game and getting in a winning position. So I chased him down, blocked the shot, and once I came down awkwardly. So, I mean, right then and there, I felt a pop in my knee. So I just clutched my knee and just really tried to pop it back into place. And, I mean, once I fell to the floor, I knew it wasn't a regular, just get right back up.
Did you start thinking ahead to, oh, no, what's going to happen now in my career?
Yeah, I had a couple of those thoughts early, but, I mean, I definitely stayed positive with it. I mean, I knew it was going to be a long-term injury, and, I mean, no matter what, I definitely get back on the court as soon as possible and just really give it my all through the rehab and just really stay focused.
You know, some of us on the outside will watch this and think, oh, no, a poor kid. I mean, that's what it'll basically be. This, oh, let's use this poor kid, I mean, the first pick in the draft, and now this might jeopardize that. Did you have a pity yourself kind of moment? Did you ever have a moment when you say to yourself, why did this happen to me?
I set out for one day to just really feel sorry for myself, and that was the day I heard it was an ACL. I mean, I felt very sad throughout that day, but after that day, I knew I said it out there I would never feel sad for myself again. Every day after that, I just really looked to tackle this and see it as a challenge and just really get right back to it.
At what point did you realize, or was it determined in your mind, I'm going to go to the NBA, I'm going to go pro?
I'd have to say probably 2 or 3 weeks after the injury where I saw the severity of it. And, I mean, I knew it'd be a long road back, but, I mean, I definitely felt I was willing to do that and just would put 110% effort into getting back onto the court.
Was your thought, even starting your freshman year, was your thought you were going to be a one-and-done guy?
No, definitely, no way. I came in just looking to get better and just really develop as a player and a person under Coach Cal. And, I mean, that's what I definitely did, I feel. And I've come a long way since then being under Coach Cal.
But I guess the question is, if you weren't hurt now, do you think you'd be playing another year at Kentucky? To me, the second you got hurt, I mean, you hadn't even hit the ground yet, and I said, that kid's got to go pro right now. But that's my mentality and not necessarily yours. Do you think if it had been for the injury, and I know that we're playing out scenarios that never took place, do you think that you might be playing for second year in college, or was that a major factor in your decision?
I really couldn't tell you, but I think it'd be a good possibility that I would be going pro. But, I mean, I'm hurt, but I still made this decision. I thought it was the best decision for myself.
What are you going to be able to do as the draft is coming up at the end of June? You're 8 weeks into your rehab. What are you going to be able to show teams or do with teams before this draft?
I'll definitely just be taking some interviews. I mean, shooting some free throws at the combine and just really being interactive with some of the teams and just showing my personality and just being able to speak with them and just show them what I'm about.
Nerlens Noel, who many believe will be the first pick in the draft, is in our studio here on Mike and Mike. What have you been told to expect as far as when you should expect to hear your name that night in June?
I really don't pay attention too much to that. I mean, my main focus is just rehabbing, working hard down there in Birmingham, Alabama, with Kevin Work, and just really staying focused on that. Really, I'm not too much into the high draft picks and stuff, but I mean that's really my main focus, just getting back on the court. What's
your game? People say, what's the strength of your game?
I'd have to say defensively, and I mean I'm definitely working offensively to really bring that part of my game along, and just being a leader on the court, playing with a lot of passion and intensity.
How do you do when it gets if you've been watching the Miami and Bulls series, you're getting a little chippy, people throwing each other around a little bit? How do you like when it gets a little physical, some contact?
Oh yeah, that gets me amped. I mean, I was watching the game the other night. I started doing push-ups. I just, I was just ready. I'm ready for that physical play. I mean, I can't wait for it.
Yeah, me too. Mike and Nerlens Noel. You watch a guy like Derrick Rose, obviously going through this with a similar injury to yours, and has taken in this kind of time. You see different people coming back in different times. Iman Shumpert has come back. Got the same injury as Derrick Rose on the same day, and he's doing tomahawk slams off of offensive putbacks. At some point, you're going to get to a point where someone's going to tell you a doctor has cleared you. When do you think you'll make up your own mind? A doctor clears you, but it's got to be you that makes the decision when you're ready to play again, right?
Yeah, I definitely know being mentally strong is a big part in this injury. And, I mean, from day one, I made sure that was something I would focus in on, because that's a big part. And, I mean, when I get cleared to play, I mean, I'll definitely look to play, but I mean, you got to definitely be there mentally just as much as physically.
In your mind, or maybe in people in your close circle to you, is there anyone or even yourself thinking, you know what, I'm just starting my career. I really, really need to take this thing slow, and if I don't come back right away, so be it, but I'm just at the start of my career?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to be careful with this injury because, I mean, it takes a while to come back, and you don't want to blow that away just wanting to get back. So, I mean, you just got to take your time with it and come back stronger, just as strong as before.
And I read a terrific story about you that I wanted everyone to hear about, and it was on ESPN.com by Eamon Brennan, talking about how you went to the Kentucky Derby this year for the first time, but you didn't go alone. Who did you take with you?
I took Kelly Melton with me. I met him at the beginning of the year. He's battling leukemia. He's 7 years old. He's from Eastern Kentucky. So, I mean, it was my first time going to the Kentucky Derby, and I knew him for a while, and I knew how much of a struggle he's been going through with all the surgeries and everything. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity to take him with me, just experience it for the first time, and it was a great time.
It's a terrific story.
Yeah, that really is.
You have to read it. It takes a 7-year-old kid who he has met who's battling leukemia with him to the Kentucky Derby and spends the day.
How'd you like the Derby?
It was great. There's a lot of great people there. Unfortunately, my horse didn't win, though, but I mean, it was still a fun time.
A lot of hats, huh?
What did I haven't seen any pictures with the story. Did you wear a hat? Did you wear one of the really cool, funky hats?
Oh, no, not me. I had to keep the flat top.
You're not covering up that hair, are you?
Nah.
I love the hair, by the way. I love it. Give us, how long have you had worn the hair that way?
I've had it for about 4.5 years.
Did you just decide it looked good, or was it someone's idea? Is it a tribute to somebody?
Growing up, I definitely looked up to like Kid and Play and Will Smith. I mean, every night before I went to bed, I'd always watch a couple episodes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So, I mean, that's where I definitely got it from, I feel.
That's terrific.
I see you pulling that look off.
Yes, no, it would be a good look for me. Yeah, I think so. I would look like some sort of mop. Anyway, Nerlens Noel, who we certainly hope is going to be the first pick in the draft, is beyond on a basketball court someplace as soon as possible. Best of luck. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We're Mike and Mike. Back in 3 minutes.